The rules of a single football game are simple. You play for 90 minutes, and at the end, the team who scored the most goals wins. Managers spend weeks in advance preparing tactics for how to win the game in a full 90 or more. Stadium staff, team staff and fans alike have all turned up to see and contribute to a spectacle that's expected to last 90 minutes. The 22 players are lined up in respective halves, still getting their last stretches and runs in. 95% of the fans are sat in their seats, while some may just be making their way to their seats. Some are still in the concourse, finishing their final pint or pie, as they're not going to miss anything, right? Nothing really happens in the first couple of minutes, they think. As the referee blows the whistle to signal kickoff, the clock starts. A recent study of the 2020 Euros showed that the most goals came between the 75th and 90th minutes, at 36%, whilst only 9% came in the first 15 minutes. Loads of goals are scored after the 85th minute. Makes sense. Most of the players are tired, physically and mentally, leading to many mistakes. Whilst in the first 15 minutes, both teams are trying to just figure each other out. Some teams come set out simply to hold on to a 0-0 scoreline until the final minutes where they can lay the hammer blow. Some teams come in to blitz the opposition in the first half and rest in the second. Take Leicester City for example, who raced into a 4-0 lead after 15 minutes against Derby in 1997. But has any team thought, how quickly can we take the lead? How can we speedrun a goal? We have to lay some ground rules for this speedrun. First, it must be a professional game. Sorry, no youth or Sunday League games are allowed. That means Barry from Sunday League hoofing it over a hungover keeper into the net doesn't count. Second, it has to be recorded. So sorry, Jack A. Smith for Aston Villa in 1888 isn't going to count in this speedrun. Thirdly, the ball must leave the centre circle, so no shooting from the spot. And lastly, every game we play, we have to persistently attempt to break the record. On the 9th of October 2022, Arsenal hosted Liverpool in the Premier League. It looked as if Liverpool were participating in a speedrun of their own, racing through on goal before Arsenal won the ball back in their own half. They then launched a counter-attack and sent 6 players storming into the opposition box, where a cute pass into Martinelli saw the Gunners take the lead in 58 seconds. This strategy is ineffective, as it relies on the opposition being very clumsy in their attempt at a speedrun, and also you need to make sure you have 5 very quick players already in the other half. Plus there's way too much happening here, and we could definitely cut down on the time. Let's look at our strategies and introduce our speedrunners. Sometimes in life you need a bit of luck to go your way, and in the case of our first speedrunner Southampton, get lucky from a loose pass by your opponent. Take it away, Aaron Ramsdale and Carlos Alcaraz.
Aaron Ramsdale, of course, still only 24, Joe, and they've given it away. Alcaraz has a chance and gives Southampton the lead within 27 seconds.
28 seconds. But Ramsdale had the ball for quite some time, and we have to make it all the way back to the keeper. How about a loose pass from the midfield? This is what happened to Brighton in 2024. It allowed Elijah Adebayo to score after just 20 seconds for Luton. We will revisit this later. This option requires a pass directly to a defender, who then in turn sends a long ball straight to the striker. Demonstrated by Andre Pierre Guignard for Marseille in 2009. 20 seconds. One way speedrunners can reduce the overall time is to have your winger waiting patiently at the halfway line, so that when the ref blows his whistle, they immediately bomb it down the pitch to receive the long ball from the midfield. Take the ball into their stride and send a low cross into the box for an early goal. Or in Augsburg's case, an own goal by the opponent. 13 seconds. How about a combination of both with option D? Intercept a loose pass and send it down the wing. Our next 2 speedrunners, Bordeaux and Auxerre, show us how it's done. also 13 seconds. Our next two speedrunners, however, bring it under 13 seconds with a return to option B. In 1995, Blackburn Rovers combined the long ball from their right back at this time with a bit of head tennis to allow Chris Sutton to score in 12.94 seconds. A year later, Port Vale entertained their fiercest rival Stoke City with a snowy pitch, used a long ball from the defender and combined it with an eloquent double dummy for Ian Bogie to finish in 12 seconds. Enter our next speedrunner, Newcastle United. As Manchester City kicked off at St James's Park, they decide not to commit to a speedrun with the long ball approach, but instead they played it all the way back to the goalkeeper, with Newcastle's Alan Shearer bearing down on him. As Shearer put the fear of God into him, the goalie stumbles, tries to clear, but it's too late, as Shearer blocks the clearance and scores into the empty net. 10 seconds. Reading are up next to show us how to perfect the long ball approach. Have no fans in the stadium, so there's no pressure on your centre back. Play it directly to him, out of the feet in under a second. A long ball looks like it's going nowhere, ricochet off the opponent which outfoxes the keeper, a quick 1-2 between the strikers, and bingo, we're under 10 seconds. Our next option is the trickiest to do, but the most satisfying to watch. 2022 PSG at Lille. Have 4 players on the halfway line ready to dart up the pitch. Have 2 players on the perimeter of the centre circle to be close to the player who takes the kickoff. This will form our triangle. As a player A kicks off to player B, player A fakes a run before returning back to the triangle. He receives a pass, then plays a first time ball to player C, who then also plays a lobbed pass to one of the forwards who's darting up the pitch. This time it just so happens to be one of the fastest players in the world. 8 seconds. If you want to use this technique, the execution has to be perfect. Our next speedrunner comes from the north of England, who uses option C to absolute perfection. Have a player inside the centre circle with you, who will play a first time pinpoint pass to the winger in stride while everyone sprints to the goal. The winger takes 2 touches before delivering a cross to the forward to score on the volley. 7.8 seconds. Back to option E, Southampton enter this run by sending Shane Long on a pressing mission. Charging down the Watford defender's clearance, which fortunately lands in the falling path of Shane Long, then 2 touches and a chip later, and boom, it's taken down again. 7.69 seconds. But how can we bring this time further down? Is 7 seconds the limit? Our penultimate option is cheeky and extremely difficult to pull off. Enter Real Valladolid, our next speedrunner. Act like you're passing to your defender, but incredibly, with your back turned to your strike partner and on the swivel, play a blind pass over the defenders to your striker, where they need to have an excellent first touch, then chip the keeper. 7.2 seconds. Remember PSG's perfect kickoff routine? Well, National League's East League made it faster. The most recent speedrunner, Germany, executed the fake pass. Not as far as Valladolid's, but it reached its target quicker. And in order for Wirtz to beat the 7.2 second time from the Spanish side, he had to produce a powerful strike from 20 yards, 7 seconds. Option A's fastest time occurred in the MLS, and not only was this a loose pass, it required one of the opposition players to fall asleep at kickoff.
And away we go. Red Bulls attack right off the opening kick. Mike Grella fires and it deflects in. Wow! And the New York Red Bulls have a 1-0 lead.
But these next set of speedrunners decided to eliminate the backwards pass from the kickoff in favour of dribbling directly to goal. Our next speedrunner comes from Italy and attempts to use option H as a way to break the 7 second time. Diaz lays it off to Çalhanoğlu, who, rather than dribble directly to goal, goes on a run which sees his path go diagonally towards the path of Rafael Leao. As Çalhanoğlu brings 3 Sassuolo players towards him, he lays a delightful pass to Leao, who takes 2 touches into the penalty area and slots home. Not passing back at kickoff saves almost a second to bring it down to 6.2 seconds. Our next speedrunner is Austria. They use the technique from AC Milan but slightly tweak it. Instead of running diagonally, Baumgartner dribbles in a straight line towards goal, beating 3 defenders in his path. Baumgartner does not look for a pass, eliminating the need for his teammate to have perfect touches off the ball. Instead, he goes for goal himself. 6 seconds, the quickest international goal of all time. And this happened on the same day as Germany. This is the quickest method so far when it's your team kicking off. Our next and final speedrun attempt comes from RB Salzburg, and as you can see, they aren't kicking off. So this is either option A or option E for Salzburg. The opposition accurately passes backwards at speed, so this is an option A. The Salzburg striker has to charge down the defender, but the defender takes a touch and leaves it for his goalkeeper to clear. As the defender takes that touch, Salzburg's Peter Ratkov slaloms past an opponent who attempts to block him. Ratkov sees his opportunity of helping Salzburg break our current record and sprints to the goalkeeper in an attempt to block the clearance. We've already seen Alan Shearer and Shane Long's goals where the ball bounces off of them and into their path to score, but these require extra touches. Ratkov needs this clearance to go directly into the goal.
Der Linzer. Der Ball kommt zu Nikolaus Schmid. Peter Ratkov blockt und der Ball ist im Tor. 1:0 für Salzburg. Ein unfassbarer Beginn. Exakt 6 Sekunden.
All of these different strategies that the speedrunners have taken to find the fastest goal from kickoff has led us to this point, where our record can be broken by a simple blocked clearance. 5 measly seconds is all it took RB Salzburg to break our speedrun record.